All right, guys, so in this brief tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how I made this carousel right here. It's highly aesthetic, can be highly informative, or just aesthetic depending on what you would like to do. And it's very, very easy to make. You can do this on your phone directly, but you're going to run into some formatting problems. So I'm going to show you how to do it on Canva for free. Very, very simple. And you don't necessarily have to mimic this exact style, but once you know how to do this, you can do all sorts of styles to deliver all sorts of information in any niche. It's highly aesthetic, highly informative, all of that good stuff. So let's just dive straight into it without further ado. This is the actual project that I made it in, but I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch. Now, once you understand how to do this, it'll be pretty easy for you to make just about anything for Instagram with carousels in a very professional format. So we're going to use the 4:5 aspect ratio. This is known as an Instagram post. Instagram also supports other ratios, but this, for the sake of this video and this carousel that I made, is the best format. So we're going to open up a 4:5. And if for whatever reason you can't find a 4:5, the aspect ratio is, or the pixels, I should say, are 1080 wide by 1350 tall. So if you find that, that's the same exact thing. Now within Canva, you can upload images. I have a bunch of images here, and I'm just going to select one of these that I like. This one's really, really cool. Cafe in Flagstaff, Arizona. If you're ever there, late for the train, great spot. And I'm just going to first start off by making it the full width, right? So of course I'm cutting horizontally, so I need the image to actually cover the full width. And I'm actually going to go a little bit wider than full width to kind of frame the coffee cup and the laptop a little bit better. And from there, I'm going to move it up. That's roughly where I want it. And then I will move this up to find that halfway point. So you'll see Canva automatically cuts this to the halfway point and stops right there. From there, it's as simple as just dragging in all the other sides, most importantly, the top side. And now what this does is it's given me a cropped image that is exactly 1/2 of this 4:5 ratio box. From there, I'm just going to hit Command C to copy. You can also right click and hit copy, and then Command V to paste. You can also hit paste. Now I have two images that are identical, fully identical. From here, I can go ahead and make many more. So maybe I'd want to do something with this. Not sure where. Yeah, I do not know what city that is in, but I have this image here. So again, same procedure. I will cut it to the full width or expand it to the full width and then push this up. Now, in this case, it's actually not the most ideal image, but we will roll with it anyway for the sake of example. Now, I'll put it down here. So from here, what I want to do, pretend I have many more images. If you want to have a bunch more, of course, for my context, a laptop makes the most sense. I can probably find, here's a good example, one of my clients, Justin Mucci Strength. I might use him. Maybe, actually, this is a really solid one. I'll just use this, Djokovic. I don't know that much about tennis, but this is an amazing photo from what I can tell. So then I will find the halfway point and extend this. It's all about finding the halfway point and then extending. Once I get it to the halfway point, it's just about cropping it down there. Okay. Now, once I have all of these set like this, I'm going to do the actual color grading stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is actually do all of the dull ones. So the dull is going to be at the bottom. What I'll do in here is I'll leave the brightness for now. The first thing I drop is saturation to absolute 0. And I want to make it a little bit more dull. Contrast, if it goes up, it defines things better. Obviously, you can overdo it, but if you go down, it kind of dulls things out. So I'm going to drop the contrast considerably. And then with the brightness, I'll probably leave the brightness as is. Now I'll just quickly do all of the bottom ones just because I can repeat things easier, just like that. And I think this one will especially look, yeah, very, very dull. I might drop the brightness a little bit on that one just to really, really dull it out. Now dealing with the top ones, again, I will hit that, go to edit, adjust, and I'm going to crank the saturation. Probably not all the way, but maybe close to all the way. I like how orange the bricks are, the green, the guy in the blue shirt looks nice. This one's pretty dull. It's not going to be the most ideal image. We can play around with the brightness a little bit too. Contrast, we don't want to, I might actually put it there, make a bit of the red pop out on the laptop. And this is already pretty much edited to perfection, so there's probably not much we can do. If we overdo the saturation, he just looks orange. Maybe just a tiny bit, but nothing crazy. Now that we have that, it's really just as simple as adding a text box. So add a text box, and just like I made before, I love the Montserrat, and I like using extra bold. And then I will also use white just because it pops a bit better. I'll probably try like 45 as the text size. And then I like using the lift effect. So you go over here to effects and you do lift. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to read even with a lift. In this case, it's not too bad. It's pretty legible. If you do want to just go for a much more defined, easy to read font, you can do outline, choose black, and then really just give it a thick outline, and that's undeniably easy to read on basically any background. So I'll just go with that for now. And here, just start putting information in. You know, I'll just make something up on the spot. It could be, create, maybe, what's that one quote? Love, no, maybe I'll say, create out of passion, and then I'll copy, paste, move it down here, not desperation, period. And then can think of another one for here. Then I might copy, paste, do what you love, or you'll, I don't know, do what you love, or you get the point. I'm not a tennis player. I don't know what to say here per se. But for any of you guys watching this, literally, I know people that are in the tax business where this can be a lot more value-based, and you could just have a bunch of photos of tax returns, of purchases for your business, and you would just say something like, don't mix personal and business expense. Optimize your life to fit in with your business, right? Or if you're a diet coach and maybe it's a very, I don't know, vibrant looking meal at the top and then a very dull looking same meal at the bottom. And it might say, take time for your meals. Don't treat them as a burden, or don't treat them as just another task, right? You're just talking about like being present when you're eating, things like that. And for sports, you can do all sorts of things. I'll even quickly maybe find that example I was thinking of with Justin Mucci. If I do another page real quick, where is he? Yeah, could be something like this, and it's just talking about like stretching, like don't stretch passively, stretch actively, right? And it would just be that. I can quickly just go up this, put it down there, edit, adjust, boom, boom, just like that. Looks very dull, very dead, very alive, and then very, very easy to just put